Are you ready for this? So I spent some time learning the accordion these days. And believe it or not, this has led to some significant breakthroughs in my music making. It's really changed how I listen to music and how I actually play the piano. And that's a big statement, so let me explain. So even though it hasn't been that long, it's been making me pay attention to new things that I've been neglecting for basically the 25 years that I've been studying music. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to outline my 3 biggest realizations. And if you stick around until the end, you'll hear my very beginner attempt at actually playing something I wrote using the accordion. The first thing that I'm going to mention is about breathing. The accordion makes me pay attention to airflow and breathing, and this affects phrasing because you have to prepare for what you're about to play and almost project this distance of volume and timing. So a couple of weeks ago, I put out a video on autumn leaves. This will be a contrast. So I hope to get better one day. So first of all, why the accordion anyway? It was maybe bound to eventually happen ever since I became a huge fan of Jan Tiersen's music, especially his score to Amelie. But in order to explain this, I need to mention my friend Corey Pezzaturo, who is an outrageously skilled accordion player and a phenomenal improviser. So Corey is very intense. Not only is he one of the most versatile and accomplished musicians I know, the guy holds the Guinness World Record for playing the accordion for over 32 hours straight and has won multiple world championships. He also has a unique ability to teach his skills to others, and having sensed that I was already curious about the accordion, he showed up one day with an extra accordion and gave me my first and only accordion lesson. So let's go back in time to about a year ago.
We'll even get you to the whole thing. Yeah, this is what you learned.
Not all of that.
Yeah, no, you'll be fine.
No, okay. What about the left hand?
Oh, it's all G and D7, G and D7. 1, 5, 1, 5. Now go back and forth. Exactly. So we'll make it a little bit harder.
No.
Oh, you just wanted that? Okay. All right, now go to the next one.
I messed up there.
God, you're such a classical musician. Makes one mistake, must play it 150 more times. And try to do the whole phrase in one direction. Da-da-da-dun, 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 da-da-da-da. You know, not doing this. This is what piano players do.
The piano doesn't require you to actively think about breathing because of the nature of the instrument. When I play louder, I'm pushing harder?
You pull hard, right. The bellow is just like an organ. Try to think like a bow, you know, nice and straight. Not jerky, not jerky.
Not jerky. So obviously I'm really rough at this, but it's making me pay attention to this arc of sound.
Oh yeah, that's how we test reeds.
That's interesting. So this was at Dave's accordion shop where we were able to borrow the accordion for the lesson.
Bum, bum, bum. It's the worst one yet. You had it.
This thing is hard. So I quickly realized how difficult it is to learn the accordion, and unfortunately I wasn't able to follow up with that until a few weeks ago when I borrowed this one from Dario, who I met through Corey.
Hey, I have this Chord with me. Customized the grills so you could see the keyboard move.
Obviously, this side is easier for me to play because of the keyboard layout, but it's actually difficult because the angle is very awkward for me, but it does not compare to the buttons. Besides the layouts, which is very different and particular, it actually goes by fourths and fifths. I cannot see these buttons when I'm playing. There's no way around it. You can't reach over and see anything. So just getting used to this with the accordion has made me think more about physical trust with the instrument. Why do they feel all the same?
They need to. Why do all the white keys feel the same?
Yeah, but you have the black keys.
You just get used to the gaps. Kind of picking them up when you're being scared. Look how I don't really pick them up, but look how they just slide.
Oh.
Because if you pick them up, it's just like a piano.
Like I told you, I've been playing piano for 25 years, and at this point, of course, I can play a lot of things without looking, but there's something different between choosing not to look and not being able to look. And on the piano, it's really freed me up and made me embrace the sense of touch when it comes to navigating the keyboard, something that has just come and gone for me. It's just a very different perspective that I think is very refreshing. Now, going back to the buttons, the next thing I want to talk about is how the accordion has made me pay attention to the fundamentals of chord harmony. It's really taught me to go back and listen to all of my favorite standard classical pieces and many more, and really appreciate how these chords make sense together. So with a lot of chord progressions in Western harmony, the chords are very closely related to each other. And when you're playing a lot of pieces on the accordion, you actually feel that physically. So on the accordion, each note is surrounded by its closest neighbors along the circle of fifths. So C is surrounded by F and G. This isn't so obvious on the keyboard, going from C to F to B flat. It's not as intuitive. You really have to navigate around the black keys. But having access to and experiencing this button layout has really made me actually hear the closeness of these chords in a different way, and it's been helpful. Oh, that's so cool.
So you get an augmented. When you play like a C7, right? A D7 and an E7 together, you actually just get the whole tone scale.
7th chords, every other 7th chord.
Right. Because you get the whole tone. It's like the beginning of a movie scene.
In reverse, it also helps you hear and understand why certain chords are considered far apart, or certain key centers. For example, this waltz by Jan Tiersen that I really love. So that distance is extremely far and hard to reach. Those chords have a bit of an unusual relationship, which is why they're so beautiful. And to be able to feel that while you play, it makes you hear it differently. I never really experienced it that way while playing it on the keyboard, where it's right there. So of course it's interesting to me in this way, but it's also why these bass buttons are so difficult to play, and why this is absolutely insane. So now, before I return this accordion back to Dario tomorrow, I want to make some music with it. And I'm going to choose Little Piece for Julie, which is a piece that I wrote for my mom back when I wrote something in order to teach her piano. So in the spirit of being a beginner, this piece will be appropriate. And also there is the circle of fifths baked into the bass line. So let's try that, and I hope you enjoy it. A very special thank you to my patrons on Patreon for helping me continue making these videos, and for anyone interested in expanding your improvisation, music theory, and/or accordion skills, I highly encourage you to check out Corey's CPES Academy. I plan to bring him back for a jazz theory-centric video in the future, so do look out for that, and thank you so much for watching.